How y'all doing out there in YouTube land? This Stiletto coming at you from the Wild Wild West. And today we got a video that we're doing. We're answering a question for Mr. or Mrs. Sliver or Liver 45 at Mr. or Mrs. Sliver or Liver 45. I'm not sure which one it is, people. So there it goes. There it could be either male or female from their handle. But anyway, let me read to you what they're asking me. Got it on my tablet here. Okay, Honorable Stiletto, thanks for your content. From your vast collection, you only get to choose 3 folders with 4 plus inch blades, 3 folders with less than 4 inch blades, and 3 fixed blades of any length. I know this is hard, but which would you choose and why? Respect. And it's at Mark MRSLIVER 45. All right. And my response was, I absolutely love a challenge. I will answer your question in a video today when I get off work. Today, stay tuned. Peace, Stiletto. All right, people. So let's get into this. I'm going to make this a 2-part video. And the reason why I'm going to make this a 2-part video, because I'm going to do 3, 3, and 3 of knives I think that are great for urban self-defense and survival. And I always think, I tend to think of things like, like always for self-defense first and utility second, but I'm a self-defense minded person. I believe in always being armed and always being prepared for, always hoping for the worst, but always being prepared for the worst. But anyway, these are my let's say if the blank hit the fan and I'm in the city, what knives would I choose? Boom, these. And as you can tell, except for one, they're all cold steels. They're all cold steels. These are all knives that I regularly carry. These two I don't carry. These are my safe. They stay in the safe in their original boxes and packaging. But the reason why I got them is for if the blank hits the fan. These are the knives I thought I would want to carry. And we'll get all into that. Let's first start off with the folders. This one right here is an original Talwar. 4-inch blade Talwar. It's not quite 4 inches. It's got to be 4 inches or smaller. It's kind of hard for me to do that because all my favorite ones I'd want in a real emergency are really probably 4 inches or maybe bigger. I don't really think of smaller knives as being like the knives I'd want to carry if I need it in a dire situation. I'd rather have something a little bit bigger, at least a 4-inch blade. But this is one of my favorite all-time ones. I've been carrying this knife for over 20 years, or about right around, I don't know, whenever these came out, that's when I first bought this. I think it might be 10 years ago. About 10 years ago or something like that. I've had it ever since this was one of the first ones. It was a pre-order. Absolutely love it. It's Oz 8. Like I said in the last video, I've been carrying Oz 8 knives for a long time now because I've been carrying cold steel knives for a long time. And the cold steel knives I like the best are pretty much the ones I originally bought. Like this one right here. This one is so broken in, it's like it's on bearings. It's super fast. It's been carried everywhere. It's been carried everywhere. I love the Talwar, people. But, there's a trick to the Talwar, especially like the new ones. I don't know, I had to fix my new one that I purchased. But if you get one of these new ones, I'm not, the new 4-inch one, I haven't heard any complaints about that one, but I've heard a lot of complaints about the XL. And I had personal experience with that. But I figured out how to fix it, though. Fix the issue that I had with it. The stop pin that they put in them was the wrong size. And I put in the stop pin for one of my old ones, and then worked perfectly for the new S35VM ones from GSM Cold Steel. All right, people. That's my Talwar. Absolutely love this knife. I've been having this knife forever. It's one of my oldest knives. And this is one of my other oldest knives. This is actually older than Talwar. Even though it's been totally modified with snaggletooth parts from Rob. Snaggletooth hooked me up with a non-finished, unfinished cog ring. And then I went ahead and polished it all the way out. And he hooked me up with a unfinished aluminum snaggletooth wave feature. But this is one of my favorite knives too. I carry this one all the time. This is like one of my favorite knives when I go riding around on my motorcycle all the time. And last times I only carry one knife. Sometimes, if I'm just wearing a t-shirt and some jeans or something on the bike or whatever, I'm not carrying multiple knives. I'll just carry this one by itself. This is the one that I carry in the city by itself when I'm on the bike. Why do I like this? It's pretty self-explanatory. It's a super tough knife. Triads. I trust triads more than any other knife, and for emergency type knives or self-defense knives or what have you. Absolutely love these. All right. Next one up. Well, these, by the way, these are both Oz8. These are the original. This is the original Recon. Like I said, it's been all modified with custom scales and custom backspacer or custom cog ring, custom polish. It was originally black, all blacked out, just like the hardware you see on here. It's all blacked out. Originally, it was an all blacked out knife, and I polished it all out. This one's been polished too. The internals and everything have been polished on it. Even the G10 on the inside's been polished. That's why this knife is so smooth. This one right here is one of my new ones I really like. And I first got this one from Midway. Midway. For regular price, it was like $199 or something like that. But that's my low numbered one, and that's one that's a collector. I don't use that one. And this one right here, I think it was like $99. It was on sale, Midway. But this is the one I carry. I got 3 of these, and this is the one I carry. This is the only one I have with a high number. The other 2 are real low numbers. I absolutely love that Spartan. It's got a CPM S35VM blade with the linerness G10 handle scales that are contoured. It's a very comfortable knife in hand. To me, this is the ultimate Spartan. Because to me, a Spartan is not a utility knife. This is a total self-defense folder. And so I love it being serrated. It's the only serrated one on the table, even though I got serrated ones in all these other knives. I have serrated Talwars, I have serrated Voyagers, and I have serrated XL Talwar too. Okay, let me keep moving on. Next up. Now this is probably one of my ones I carry the most of all my XL size knives. Absolutely love the Voyager XL. The Voyager XL Tonto. As you see, I got my snaggletooth on it. That's the only mod this one needs is a snaggletooth. Absolutely love this knife. This is a knife I carry, like if I think that I might get confiscated, if I'm going somewhere it might be kind of crazy and it might get might get in a situation where it gets confiscated or something like that, because these are easy to replace. They're only like 55 to about $65. Triad folder. Proven to hold over 450 pounds. In the old test videos, proof videos. Awesome blade. Highly recommend it. Next up. Here we go. This one's been polished. This is my favorite. Espada. This is my favorite Espada. This is an Oz 10 one. I have all the different Espadas. And this is the one I carry out of all the ones I have. I have them blacked out in CTS 6HP, and I even have Voyagers in CTS 6HP. And Talwars in CTS 6HP, and both of these in CTS 6HP too. But the ones I carry are these. Why? Because Oz 8 is just easy to maintain, people. If you know how to sharpen knives, Oz 8 is kind of a cool steel. If you're not afraid of having to sharpen something, or when something gets dull. Oz 8 taught me how to sharpen knives. This one, the AUS 10A, Japanese AUS 10A. This is the largest Spada, 5.5-inch blade. Absolutely love it. It's designed it's got its ideas from the Spanish Navajas. Absolutely love it, people. Beautiful knife. This is one of my motorcycle knives when I go on trips. I'll carry one of these 3 in my pocket. So all these knives have been carried a lot. Especially this one. Especially this one, people. Especially this one. Why? What is this one? That's right. You saw that. Reverse finger flip. Hardly any risk. Want to do it again? Look at that. This one has the handle scales on the inside have been totally polished. The G10 has been polished to almost like a mirror polish, to a very glossy polish. And then I polished all the washers, the bronze phosphorus washers. Back spacer, the lock bar's been completely polished inside and out. This was my first towel war. And this is the one I still carry today. You see the lock bar's polished on the inside. This is not like a stock knife. That's what I'm trying to tell you. This knife has 0 side to side, 0 up and down, 0 side to side, 0 up and down. And it's about 10 or 12 years old. And it's been on every big motorcycle trip I've ever been on, just about, in the last, 10 or 12 years. I absolutely love this knife. All my buddies have handled it. It's an awesome knife. I've had this knife for a very long time. And it's been highly carried, highly used. Oz 8. It's my favorite one. Oz 8, people. Don't knock it. Don't knock it. I know everybody's in all these new high-tech steels and everything. And they're awesome. The new high-tech steels are awesome. Until you have to maintain them. Until you have to resharpen them. They're really awesome. But when you have to resharpen them, they're not so fun no more, because it takes a long time to get a nice edge on them. And lots of times it's hard to get, edge as sharp as the original factory edge. That's my experience with, and I do use diamond stones on like the powdered steels and stuff like that. And diamond stones do work very well and stuff like that. It's just that, I don't know. I sort of like the Arkansas stones with the ingot steels. I like the way the edges come out better. You can make them really nice and smooth. And if you want to make them smooth, or if you want to make them really a polished edge, it's easier to make a really nice polished edge. I don't know. There's pluses and minuses to me with the new powdered steels as opposed to the old ingot steels. I grew up with the old ingot steels, people. I'm an older person. I'm not a younger person. I've dealt with ingot steels all my entire life. They didn't have powdered steels up until like the last 20 years or something like that. And I'm much older than that. So I'm used to sharpening knives. I'm used to, having to, do what you have to do to maintain your knives and your edges and stuff like that. So it's not a big deal for me. But I know a lot of people don't like doing that stuff, or they're not very good at doing that stuff. And then, in that case, you probably should get like the very high-end edge holding steels and stuff like that. I would just say, if you're getting one for self-defense, if you're getting a knife for self-defense, it's good to have a good edge holding steel, but make sure it's a tough steel too, because a lot of the high-end edge holding steels are fairly brittle, and they break and they chip and they do all sorts of weird stuff fairly easily. Sure they hold their edges for forever and stuff like that, but once you put some stress on that blade, lateral stress or whatever, something like that, they break. because the steel's too hard. But anyway, that's my experience, people. And like I don't know, I heard a lot of people putting down like S30V. I've had good experience with S30V. I haven't had any chipping out issues or anything like that. I like S35VN. I haven't had S40. I don't have a knife with S45VN. But what other steel do I like? I like so far I like the M390. I like M390 and 20CV. Magna Cut. I love Magna Cut. I've had real good experience with my Demco knives with the Magna Cut. And that's about it I could think of right now. Oh, CPM 154. That works good too. CPM 154. And the ARPM is the Chinese powdered steel, the budget steel. I've had that too. And I've had good experience with that one too. But powdered steels are great though. They hold edges very, very long time and stuff like that. Just gotta be aware that it takes a little bit longer to get them to the bring the edge back to or better than original. But anyway, that's my experience, people. I know everybody. Some people are like I'm sure like Neve's knives, and he's a sharpener. He can probably do handle any kind of steel. But anyway, let's get into these. This is my favorite little knife. If I'm gonna have an urban self-defense knife, this is it, people. Look at that, double-edged. A little close quarter combat blade. Nice and black. That's another thing too. Like all my fixed blades, I picked all black ones because I don't want a big glary blade. These knives, I have black Tau Wars. I have black Espadas. I even have black Voyagers. I have this in black. I have these in black. Don't have this one in black. So if I wanted to, I can use all the black ones. All of my black ones are in the safe, people. That's the reason why you don't see them out here. These are all knives that stay out. These were in the safe too, but they were easier to get to because of where all the fixed blades are. They're boxes and stuff, so it's easy for me to get to those. But this is a beautiful knife. It's an ADCR. Was it ADCR V2? The Swedish saw blade steel. Swedish saw blade steel. German ADCR V2. It's a super tough carbon steel. This is a very good carbon steel. Everything that I've seen about it is super tough. It's even tougher than probably like, I hate to say it, 1095, my favorite. One of my favorites, I think it's probably tougher than that. But everything I've seen about this steel is like super tough. Oh, let me leave it out. Let me leave it out, people. Let's set the sheaths aside. Oh, and the sheath on this one too is really cool. It's got the Demco sheath that you can take all the way apart, so you can clean it out if you get anything inside of it. Very cool. Very cool. Next up. Yeah. Here we go. Oh yeah. This would be my big blade. 9 inches long. CPM 3V. It's saber flat ground with the flat ground tip also. It's a Magnum Tanto. This is a night, I forget, it's a night something series. They don't make these anymore. But this is one I'd pick. I always wanted to get the 12-inch version of this one, but I was never able to get it. I missed out on that one. I absolutely love this one. This would be my big fighter. And that's the reason why I'm picking this one. You want to know the reasons why? This would be my big fighter. It's not a knife that I would use for chopping wood or anything like that. This is a fighting knife. I know Joe X tore up one on his show where he broke off the butt cap and like the whole handle comes apart once you do that. But I'm not going to be breaking out the butt cap, so this one will last just fine. I'm not going to be tearing up my handle. And look how thick this is. 5mm thick of 3V. Saber flat ground 3V. It's got a steel guard and a steel pommel and a Crayex handle. So you got awesome grip on this one. This would be the one I'd pick for fighting, for a big fighter. It's fairly lightweight for its size too. I bet you a lot of you thought I was going to pick out my big heavy Warcrafts. And no, I rather if I'm actually having a bite knife for a fighting knife, I want something that I can move in my hand really quick, and I don't want anything that slows me down. That's the way I sort of think about that. I'd rather have something that's fast in hand than something that's slow in hand. All these knives are fast in hand. And this would be my heavy duty knife, because you got to have a heavy duty knife. That's the way I sort of think. I'm not picking this one to be really like a fighter, but I'm picking this one to be like the one that can do camp chores. And this is my 7.5-inch Warcraft. The 3V steel, saber flat ground, 5mm stick, full exposed tang. Tang slims down to save weight. Full exposed tang. This would be the one I'd be using for splitting wood, starting fires, doing camp chores. This would be like my field duty knife. That's the way I would think of this one. And I missed out getting a 12-inch one of these too. I wanted a 12-inch one of these too. I missed out on that. But I'm happy I got this one now. This is actually like the perfect size. A 12-inch one of these would probably be too heavy. This one is like, still not too heavy. It is heavy though. I don't want you to think this is a lightweight knife. It's not. It's a fairly heavy knife. But anyway, these would be my choices. And this is part 1. Now these are my combat blades. These are ones I would pick for urban survival, urban combat. I live in a city with over 2 or 3 million people in it, so I want an urban combat knife. I don't live out in the woods, people. I don't live out in the wilderness. I got to fight my way to the wilderness. But anyway, these are ones I would pick. These are my pick. The next one I'm going to show are going to be knives that I don't pick necessarily for self-defense, even though they could be used for that. But I'm just going to pick knives that I really like to carry and really like to use for utility purposes. That's going to be part number 2. And that'll be the final part. Peace out. Stiletto. Have a great day.